I've not met a cop who likes a bad cop. There's bad in everything. There's lousy senators, there's lousy presidents, there's lousy doctors, there's lousy lawyers. No, I'm serious. But I don't know any police officer that feels good about the fact that there may be a lousy cop. I'm tired of not giving the kind of help they need. Folks, look.
Now, some of you guys may not automatically, some of you guys may not automatically get your fourth check. There are also huge changes to monthly benefits that may be coming next month. New delivery dates have been confirmed by state officials, and here is your daily update for your fourth stimulus check. A nationwide outage was reported with the SNAP program, leaving more than 1 million people without the ability to use their benefit transfer cards to make payments at retail stores. Agencies in Massachusetts and South Carolina reported on Sunday that customers are unable to make purchases with their electronic benefit transfer cards. The South Carolina Department of Social Services wrote in a Twitter post that it is aware of processing issues of electronic benefit transfer cards due to a third-party processor outage impacting programs in multiple states. The department later tweeted out that all the systems were restored, resolving the processing issues. The Massachusetts Department of Transitional Assistance also said in a Twitter post that electronic benefit transfer card processing in the state was affected, but later said that the issue was resolved. Several U.S. states have officially announced that they will offer additional SNAP benefits to eligible families. Households who meet the requirements for the extra food stamps will get these emergency allotments next month in the state's bid to provide families in need with financial aid. This assistance is intended to help households struggling to make ends meet as a result of joblessness or decreased hours of work following the crisis. Earlier this month, Governor Abbott announced that the state will provide more than $300 million in food benefits for 1.5 million Texas households. Now, Governor Abbott told reporters it is imperative that every family across our state has access to nutritious food. Through the extension of emergency SNAP benefits and the work of Texas Health and Human Services Commission, we are ensuring Texans have the resources they need to stay healthy. But Texas is not one of the states who have officially announced they will provide extra food stamps in September. There are various other states which have yet to make an official announcement, but they are expected to offer SNAP emergency allotments to their citizens who have struggled due to the rising prices and gas prices as well. Each state has announced their own guidelines, but if you have already received food stamps in the past, you may be able to automatically qualify for the extra financial aid. The food stamps can be used to purchase any food, including fruits, vegetables, meat, poultry, fish, and dairy products. States are now writing checks to help residents with everything from the crisis to inflation. If you had a tax liability last year, you'll be eligible for a tax rebate in Virginia this year. Those who filed individually can get rebates of up to $250, while those who filed jointly are eligible for rebates of up to $500. The states begin issuing the rebates in the fall. If you haven't filed a 2021 tax return yet, you have until November 1st to get in and receive a rebate. Another 60,000 families in Florida will soon receive a one-time payment of $450 per child. The money is a handful, being sent primarily to low-income families. Now, Illinois taxpayers earning less than $200,000 can also receive $50 each. Each dependent is eligible for $100 payments, for a maximum of $400 per household. In Pennsylvania, older homeowners and renters and people with disabilities received tax rebates beginning last month.
That we are doing here today. We are going to be signing an agreement with Western Governors University and our community colleges, but what this will do is we in the state of Nebraska to have Western Governors University, WGU, be a private nonprofit organization of higher education here in the state of Nebraska, which will have all sorts of benefits. So helping us talk about this today, we've got Scott Pulsifer, who is the president of WGU. We're also being joined by one of WGU's students, Amanda Redler, and she is right now teaching in St. Ed's, and she lives in Albion. You're teaching 6th grade, right? All right, and you're finishing up your BA in education. We're also going to be joined by one of our teammates in the state of Nebraska, Brenda Soto, who is got her MS from WGU in health leadership, and she is actually currently working in our emergency in the Department of Health and Human Services, doing Director of Emergency Response Services. So for the state there. And then of course we've got Dr. Paul Illich, who is the president here at Southeast Community College, We're also going to be joined by other folks. I know we've got Matt Gottschall, because I just saw him. Where'd you go, Matt? Matt's over there. He's the president of Central Community College. We've got Michelle Gill, who's the vice president of educational services at Northeast Community College, right? All right. Jeff Koski, who is an instructional director at Western Community College. And by the way, within the state of Nebraska, you get the award for coming the farthest. So, great job. And then we also are joined by the executive director of the Nebraska Commission on Coordinating. Okay, come on, Michael, help me out. The Coordinating Commission for Secondary Education. Thank you, Dr. Michael Baumgartner. So we got a number of great folks here to talk about what we're going to do. Now, one of the things that we have done here in Nebraska is to work on a talent pipeline, starting in 7th and 8th grade and taking young people through that post-secondary education. We've done it with our Developing Youth Talent Initiative, the grants to go to private institutions or private companies and our schools, our K-12 schools, to be able to create those programs in 7th and 8th grade. Our high schools do it with their career academy.
A new round of stimulus could be on the way for many Americans, everybody. Now, this new bill could guarantee low-income households with monthly stimulus payments. As long as they qualify, eligible people could receive up to $1,200 in extra relief. Now, this is awesome news. And according to the Washington Post, Democratic and Republican lawmakers have held early discussions about a new round of crisis relief stimulus spending. A bill for a guaranteed income program proposed by progressive Democrats in Congress is calling for ongoing $1,200 monthly stimulus checks for adults, plus $600 for each child in the household. The program, called the Support Act, which was introduced in the U.S. by Minnesota Democratic Representatives Elon Omar and co-sponsored by Representatives Pramila Jayapal and Cori Bush. Omar said in a news release about this bill, "For too long we have prioritized endless growth while millions of people are homeless, hungry, or without health care. The crisis has laid bare these inequalities, and we have the ability to make sure everyone has their needs met." The legislation would set up a $2.5 billion grant fund that would pay for the pilot program. It would pay $1,200 monthly for adults and $600 monthly for each child in the home. Different communities would be involved in the pilot program for the first 5 years, and then the program would become available to everybody who qualifies. According to the proposed legislation, single filing adults with AGI's income of up to $75,000 and jointly filing adults with incomes of up to $150,000, and those filing as head of household with an income of up to $112,000 would be eligible for the maximum amount monthly. Now, a family of 4 or 2 children being younger than age 18 and a yearly income under $150,000 would be eligible for $3,600 a month. Now, the U.S. job market remained tight last month as employers struggled to find people to hire. The Labor Department said that the United States businesses added 390,000 jobs in May as the unemployment rate held steady at 3.6%. Job gains for March and April were revised, down by a total of 22,000 jobs. The demand for labor has also left employers hoping that older workers who left the workforce early in the crisis will come out of retirement, especially after the recent